Hello, folks. Welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's times only, investment talk today will be ETHEREUM ticker ETH. So this is my second posting as of today. With respect to recording time of 2:07 p.m. on Eastern time, Ethereum currently trading $3,218, down about 1.26% so far. With respect to overall crypto market, is relatively flat. However, if you guys saw and observed the chart earlier today, we had a relatively large spike, specifically on Litecoin, spiked by close to 30% early today after a Holtz report that Walmart would accept the cryptocurrency. So this is something we have seen before on a media application front. We know that Walmart and Amazon are currently hiring a product manager to take the initiatives of crypto assets going forward, how that's going to be incorporated or implemented into the business model that obviously both companies, both Amazon and with respect to Walmart, are commerce companies. And as as the global cryptocurrencies further get cultivated going forward, it's important for them to get ahead of things, right, by hiring a product manager. Right, and what does a product manager does, right? It's basically a business consultant that takes ideas and strategize that ideas and then implement that into tactical solutions, right? So think of someone that makes things happen, if you may, right? You have an idea, you tell these consultants or aka the product managers to take the initiatives to aggregate a team together, build a team together, formalize the step by step in a tactical perspective to, ultimately capture and execute the crypto assets adoptions or commercialization, if you may, going forward, right? So with respect to some of the news I've been watching, in the last 6 hours so far, ever since my first posting this morning, I would say collectively, it's more regurgitation news that talk about just the volatility across the market, right? First one on Market Watch, talking about again, right, what I just talked about. Litecoin spikes 20%, but actually it was up about 30% if you look at the chart really closely. After the hoax reports that Walmart would accept the cryptocurrencies. And we saw that surge was really, really short-lived, and we can see that with respect to Ethereum. We surged up all the way to close to about 3,375 earlier today. With respect to Bitcoin as well, surged to be about $46,782. Dogecoin as well, we surged just minimally to 24 cents 52. And Cardano, we were surging to the point of basically about like $2.50. Solana is still selling off, and this is something we know. We are selling off quite dramatically at the moment. We are forming a death cross, so that means more sell-off is coming. But per our technical analysis that we talked about earlier this morning, we know that we will be testing the $144 mark, 145 technically, right? And I think with respect to how much of a sell-off we would potentially be getting, I think we might even see the 114 and even potentially below $100 mark, right? So for me, I'll wait off until Solana comes back to, ideally for me, right, the $67 mark for me to start dollar cost averaging or start my position from there. So I don't have a position in Solana yet, but it's something that I want to hedge, knowing the fact that Solana seems like it's starting, getting global adoptions going forward. It's getting more popularization. But obviously, this surge is mainly driven by just FOMO and whales manipulations and a media affectation fund as well. So something would be cautious of, right? And also XRP, I think XRP is in a relatively ideal level to dollar cost average right now, right? $1 level is typically a good level, but for me, XRP is not in all platform, and I don't have Binance. I only have Coinbase, and we know that Coinbase suspend XRP. I would say 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, with respect to the legality issue. That's still something that have to be fixed, right? So I tend to stay away from any legal issues, right? So I'm currently not an investor, but I used to be. I used to hold about 20,000 XRP back in the day, but I subsequently convert all of that into a Bitcoin, into multiple Bitcoin when I bought at the bottom, basically for Bitcoin, right? So going back to Ethereum, Some of the news that I've been looking at, Market Watch 5 hours ago talk about ADA, which is Cardano, plunge amid cryptocurrency sell despite Cardano smart contracts update. Right, so this is not really a news per se. This is just more of a explanatory way of depicting what happened. Um, and I think this is something that is understandable because this is something that we call buy the rumor, sell the news type of affectation, right? You typically have the anticipatory pressure, people buying ahead of the, basically the smart contract upgrades, right? And subsequent to that, people sold off because of, it was just the right execution, right? People were, driving up the euphoria, driving up the publicity, driving up the exposure, and as they heard the news, and they see that, okay, so it seems like it's cooling down from this point, it's time to liquidate and sell some of my, take some profit. And next thing you know, it became like just a domino effect across the whole market, specifically for Cardano, people taking profit. And that's exactly what happened. It's not really plunging, it's just more of a consecutive fashion with the anticipatory pressure that bakes into the adjustments that we're seeing. So I think Cardano, I will wait until we hit the $1.87, the $1.45. I think $1.45 would be an ideal level for dollar cost averaging, right? We still have like a dollar left for us to fall down, and we have a large gap. So I would stay away from Cardano at the moment. Again, just my personal perspective, right? So beside that, on Ethereum, there isn't any other substantive news that we have already talked about, right? Another regurgitation is basically the Bazinga article on the analyst talking about Bitcoin hit 150K and Ethereum to 10x from here, right? So basically, Ethereum should technically be $32,000 in the next 3 to 5 years per the analyst on the technical analysis that they talk about in the article. So again, another speculations, and the volatility we saw today from the Walmart news was definitely interesting, and I know the smart ones, and also the diligent investors as well, would have taken profit at that top, right? Because that was just logical move when they saw that slow dip, and once they saw that fishing is going on, they sold at the top, which was if you did that, congratulations to you. You guys are completely winning it. And I didn't do it because I was in meeting, so I didn't really have time to look at this. But so this is more of a retroactive type of news, if you may, right? I'm not always looking at the chart, right? But I have an alert on my phone that tells me when something is jumping, right? And I got that news. But so apologies for being a little bit late. I was in meeting, so I didn't want to be disrespectful by just jumping off the meeting and and start doing this YouTube video, right? But hopefully, I did catch up on time and keep you guys up to date just sufficiently enough. So with respect to the current momentum right now, so we know the CPI report is coming out tomorrow. So ultimately, we are not wizards and we do not know how the statistics are going to come out, right? We do not predict numbers. We're not the producers of the numbers either. And investing is a form of risk mitigation, right? So contingent on if the report's going to be positive or negative tomorrow, we know if it's positive, we will see some surging pressure onto the equity market, which subsequently will anti-correlate onto the crypto market, and we should subsequently sell off from there, right? And the next level will be the 3,150, which is a level that we tested earlier today and yesterday as well. But who knows how that's going to be playing out, right? And if we know it's surge, we still need to follow the fundamentals. We know that the market cycle is still going through the course of cadence, right? So no matter what the report comes out to be, it's just going to be triangulating on how the Fed's going to be manipulating, or not manipulating, managing, that's more the proper term, manipulating, the asset purchasing going forward, the $120 billion for the tapering, right? And how that's triangulated with the job numbers and the revival of the economy going forward, right? So Ethereum, knowing the fact that the MACD is still crossing down, RSI is still crossing down as well, which is a good sign, means that the risk is slowly depleting, that we're still at the 45 mark for RSI, and MACD is not showing any signs of recovery yet. That I think 3,000 would be the first level that I would do still dollar cost average at. 2,750, 2,450 would technically be the bottom, right? So if we look at the cheat sheet that we have, we are still within the anxiety stage at the early inning of the denial stage. It's going to go through that oscillation on a sideways fashion, right? And September has never been a good month to us. That's something we know, right? So with respect to the logics, just to have a frame of reference to for our sanity, right? Keep ourselves just emotionally detached to investing, which is critical. That 3,000, 2,750, 2,450 are still the levels that I'll stay within. I know I've been talking about these numbers for like the last 4 weeks so far. And it seems like it is what it is. It's coming true, right? And again, I'm not a wizard. I'm just saying that it needs to go to the market cycle. The oscillation makes sense, and I think everything that's happening right now makes sense as well. So I'm just gonna follow the fundamentals, the logics, and keep going until we go to the more ideal level and dollar cost average from there to slowly build up my position from there, right? But if you bought in at 4,000 again, I got some questions today. Like, should I be selling? No, you should not be selling on a loss. If you sell on a loss, you definitely lost your money. But if you believe in the long term, just hold it. No matter how much you put in, $10, hold it. You put in $100, hold it. You put in $100,000, hold it. Don't be scared. This is supposed to happen, right? And I'm gonna hold you guys' hands going forward to ride these waves together. And hopefully, by giving you the logics, the clarity, it will give you a better sense of comfort, because I know that it's scary when you are facing a lot of unknowns, right? But hopefully by breaking it down for you guys can, encapsulate that and then use that into your knowledge, so you will becoming more aware and familiarized with, with these type of, these type of factors, right? Both on a macro perspective and also on the micro perspective, right? And that's pretty much it for today. And I see that another news just popped up on my radar. CNBC 16 minutes ago. Basically, Walmart clarifying that and debunking the litecoin payments announcement. It's basically someone like talking BS on the social media platform, hyping things up for no reason. It seems like another media manipulations that we're seeing right now. So that's pretty much on the news. I'll always, I'll keep an eye out on the CPI report and some of the news that's cultivating later today, if there's any. But really appreciate you, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of the Monday and rest of the week. You'll probably see me tomorrow again. Stay tuned for this come up. Take care. Bye.